We all think of our schools and universities as these incredible hubs for our communities, right? They're places of learning and growth. But right now, they're caught in a perfect storm, facing two massive but very different crises all at once. So let's break down what they are, and more importantly, how they're connected. So, what are these twin threats putting so much pressure on UK education? One is a financial time bomb, just ticking away. And the other, well, it's a threat coming from a direction you would probably never ever guess.
All right, let's start with crisis number one, this financial time bomb. I'm not exaggerating when I say that Britain's higher education sector is on the brink of a major financial crisis. And the numbers behind it, well, they paint a pretty bleak picture. Get this. For the upcoming academic year, it's projected that more than 40% of UK universities will be operating in the red. That's not just a minor issue, that is a massive system-wide strain. So what's causing this incredible squeeze? It's really a perfect storm of pressures. For one, tuition fees for domestic students have been frozen for years, so they just aren't keeping up with rising costs. At the exact same time, admissions for international students are falling, partly because of new regulations. And that has sparked a really tough ethical debate. Is it truly sustainable to have a funding model where international students are basically subsidizing the entire system? One of the big ideas being floated to fix this is for universities to merge and create these giant super universities to share costs. Supporters are calling it a watershed moment for stability. But a lot of critics are skeptical. They argue it's not really a merger of equals, but more like a takeover of an institution that's about to go bust. You have to wonder, does this really solve the underlying problem? So while universities are desperately trying to put out these financial fires, a completely different kind of threat is bubbling up from inside their own walls. Welcome to crisis number two. And here's where it gets really surprising. According to the UK's data watchdog, a staggering 57% of all insider cyber attacks in the education sector are caused by the students themselves. Yeah, we're talking about pupils hacking their own schools and colleges. And this is the crucial part. We're not talking about some sophisticated Hollywood-style break-in. As one expert put it so well, teen hackers are not breaking in, they are logging in. A huge chunk of these incidents happen because students just guess a weak password or find it written on a sticky note. They aren't breaking down the digital door, they're walking right in. So why are they doing it? The motivations are all over the place. Sometimes it's for something as simple as a dare or just to get some notoriety. Other times, it's more serious, like for financial gain or revenge. But a huge driver is often just simple curiosity, young people wanting to test out their own tech skills. And this is where it gets really, really concerning. This issue is starting younger and younger. The youngest person referred to the National Crime Agency's program for steering kids away from cybercrime was just 7 years old. 7. Let that sink in. And the consequences of these breaches are severe. We're not just talking about changing grades. These attacks have exposed incredibly sensitive personal data, things like student health records, confidential safeguarding details about vulnerable children, and private pastoral logs. The potential for harm here is just immense. So we have these two major crises, one financial, one digital. They seem totally separate, but what if the solution to both lies in seeing just how deeply connected they really are? This is all about building an integrated resilience. And that brings us to the single most important idea here. Investing in cybersecurity isn't just an IT cost that you have to bear. It is a fundamental strategy for your long-term financial health. The two are completely inseparable. Let's just trace the domino effect. A single data breach happens. Immediately, that opens the door to huge regulatory fines and legal fees. Then comes the reputational damage, which erodes trust with parents and students. And the final step? That damage leads directly to lower student enrollment, which hits an institution's main source of income. Just like that, a cyber problem has become a full-blown financial crisis. So how in the world do you defend against this? Well, one key technical strategy is adopting what's called a zero-trust approach. The concept is simple but really powerful. Trust no one, verify everyone. It means before any user gets access to any part of the system, their identity is rigorously confirmed every single time. But technology is only ever half the battle. You also have to build a human firewall. And this means going way beyond just boring GDPR training for staff.
It's about making education engaging, using things like simulations and even gamification. And crucially, it's about getting students ready for careers in cybersecurity, giving them a positive outlet for all those skills.
And this is where you can do something really cool. Turn a problem into a solution. Instead of just trying to punish this cyber curiosity, why not channel it? Institutions could create ethical hacking clubs, or launch bug bounty programs where students get rewarded for finding security flaws, or even offer internships with the IT security team. You can literally transform a potential threat into a future talent pipeline.
By integrating our approach to security and finance, and by seeing curious students not as threats but as potential talent, we can completely reframe this whole conversation. The question isn't just how we survive these crises. It's how we can use them to build a stronger, more resilient, and more secure future for UK education. Thanks for watching.